All right, welcome to the Grow Like a Mother podcast. I'm your host, Jill, and I have Nikki Cheek with me here today. Nikki's a go to health and wellness coach for busy moms, and she's actually the founder of Intentional Wellness Coaching. She lives in St. Louis with her husband and three active sons. Nikki knows all about being a busy mom and how exhausting it can be. Despite facing the common challenges of balancing work and family life, she refused to accept that constant overwhelm and exhaustion as her normal. Now her mission is dedicated to helping moms see that exhaustion doesn't have to be the norm as a mom. And she's developed the Exhausted Moms Energy Fix program, which is designed to help busy moms like you and me reclaim their energy and embrace each day with enthusiasm. Nikki strongly believes that every mom can have the energy that they need, not to just get through the day, but to thrive. And today she's going to be sharing some practical, sustainable strategies that can fit seamlessly into a busy mom's schedule. No tough routines here. Nikki will help you make real changes and go from I'm too tired to an unstoppable, I've got this. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to chat with you. I would love to dive right into talking about something that is kind of going to be like the foundation of this episode, I think, in that tiny habits. Can we talk a little bit about like how do we use tiny habits as moms? What are they? Why are they helpful? The nitty gritty.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I think about tiny habits, it's little things that we can incorporate into our day, right? Most of the time, what I hear moms saying is they're too tired or they don't have time to do things, right? They don't have time to make a healthy meal. They don't have time to work out. Okay, well, I've got a super simple solution for you. Why don't you set a timer every hour and do 10 squats?
Mm.
Or why don't you do calf raises while you're brushing your teeth? These are the things that I think of as tiny habits that are going to help moms where you're literally seamlessly adding something into your day that you're already doing, right? And you make it something so that it's so easy and it gives you the energy that you need. So that's really what I think of when I talk about tiny habits. Those are the things that I'm talking about, making sure that they fit into your day.
Is there like any particular way that we do this? Like, is it setting an alarm on a clock? Is it working it in like a habit stack to something else? Like, what are, or is it different for everybody in terms of how we can implement these?
Yeah, it's definitely different for everybody because some people do really well with habit stacking and do calf raises while they're brushing their teeth. Like those are more habit stacking, right? Other people do really well with setting an alarm and having that reminder every hour to make sure that you're drinking 8 ounces of water, right? So there's different ways for different moms and it's going to work differently for everybody and what motivates you. But one of the things that is going to help you continue on that journey is actually celebrating those wins. So let's say you do actually go and you have all your water today, or you drank an extra glass. You're going to want to celebrate that because that's going to help you build the confidence to move forward and to continue to build that next tiny habit, right? Let's say instead of going through the drive-through when you were super hungry, you decided to bring your lunch today for work. That's a super small win that you can celebrate. So all of these little things build up and start to create that confidence that you need to make those changes for your energy.
Love it. Love it. And why, like, specifically for moms, how does this factor in? Like, why is it so important for moms to embrace this idea of like the tiny habits and the small wins and like break that down for me?
Yeah, so it goes back to what I was just talking about, where most moms will tell you, I don't have time to do this, or I don't have the energy to work out. I'm too tired to work out. I'm too tired to do this. And when most moms want to set a goal or they want to start to feel better, they get overwhelmed because there's too many things to do. There's too much to accomplish. Your day's crazy busy. You're running your kids to multi sports, right? You've got 5,000 things. Like we're in the month of May right now, and I think I have something at my kids' school every single day this month. And so it's building in those little things and having those be your guide to start you on that path. And when you create those small wins and those tiny habits and what they will help you achieve, eventually that's going to lead to you feeling so much better that you can start to tackle the bigger things, right? But until you tackle those small things first and you build on them, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to quit.
Yeah,
And I don't want to see that for any mom.
exactly. Right. It's sort of that they're stepping stones. It's like the idea of stacking dimes, right?
Yeah,
You build the momentum and you build the strong foundation so that when you do have those bigger things, you're in a better position to be able to take those on. And I can imagine tiny habits can really help us like build flexibility into our days when there's like unexpected changes in the schedule, especially around this time of year, right? Where school's going to be out soon and there's like all there's seasons changing and like everything is happening right now. So like tiny habits can help us build in that flexibility, right?
absolutely. And also having that self-compassion too, right? So like you missed your 8 ounces of water at 9 o'clock. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, just move on because when you start to dwell on what you missed versus what you can go to next, it throws you off track. And so if you tell yourself all of the negative things that you're missing, you're going to get off track, you're going to get overwhelmed, and you're going to forget to keep doing the next tiny habit that's going to build that feeling of success and build that energy.
Yeah. Can you share with us some strategies that moms can use to stay motivated if they do find themselves like, oh crap, I missed that? How can they stay focused on sort of the next thing without dwelling?
Give yourself, I like to say, give yourself like 2 minutes to think about it, right? Like, okay, fine, you're mad at yourself. You missed the workout, you missed the extra water, you missed the calf raises, the squats, whatever. You missed the healthy meal because you were running around. Okay, give yourself a minute, let yourself think about it, but then move on, right? Is it going to matter in 5 years if you missed it for one time? No, it's not. It's not even going to matter in a month. And so for a mom who needs to stay motivated, it's looking ahead to the next thing. I like to start work when I work with moms. I start from the back. I start from the end, right? I look at their vision of like where do they want to go? How do they want to feel when they wake up in the morning? How do they want to show up in the world as a mom, as a wife, as a partner, if you're working as a professional, and then work backwards, right? Because you always want to begin with that end in mind so that you can say when you miss a goal or when you miss something that you're like, okay, but this isn't the end, right? This is not the end. This isn't where I'm ending right now. I want to be here. And so I'm going to move just one step closer the next day and just one step. And if you keep building on those one step, like you're just getting 1% better every single day, then you're going to continue to find that motivation. One of the things that has helped me immensely is writing down my wins every single night. And I spend 3 minutes every single night and I write down my wins because they could be super, super small, but it doesn't matter because those small things in a month from now, that's what's going to make the most gigantic transformation. And a year from now, it's going to be even bigger. And so writing down my wins every single night, I have a journal right next to my bed. It takes me less than 5 minutes. And I know everybody has less than 5 minutes before they go to bed that they can write down what their wins were for the day. The other thing is focusing on gratitude. So many moms, I've done it, and I catch myself sometimes where I'll sit in the negative and then that just your whole day starts to spiral, right? So when you think about what you've missed for too long, and then you go backwards and you start to say, okay, I missed this, but, and you can spin it in a positive way and you can focus on what you're grateful for instead. Okay, maybe you missed this, but you had the opportunity to go outside and do something with your kid. Okay, great. That's a win, right? That's something to be grateful for. And so focusing on the positive things at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day are so incredibly important that they set your mindset into a much more positive place, which allows you then to not dwell on the negative when you're feeling unmotivated.
I love it. It's all mindset work. And that's the beautiful thing is that we're in control of that mindset work, right? And like for listeners who may not have had the opportunity to practice this yet, you'll find that if you start looking for gratitude, things to be grateful for, and if you start recording your tiny wins or big wins or whatever wins at the end of the day, as a new tiny habit, you're going to be going through your days looking for things to write down at the end of the day and looking for things to be grateful for. So you're going to be seeing
Yes.
and acknowledging intentionally more things to be grateful for and seeing more wins throughout your day. So it's going to motivate you even more. And it's this wonderful cycle, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's changed the way that I've looked at things, and I've started to help implement that with my kids too, and it's starting to shift their mindset.
Yeah. Are there ideas that you have like on that vein to help our kids develop tiny habits?
That's a good question. And I would say, well, it's not my area of expertise. Kids role model, right? They watch what you do. And so if you're talking about what you're grateful for every day and you get them involved, then they're going to shift their minds to what they're grateful for. If you are wanting to be working out more consistently and your kids are watching you, and then they start to hold you accountable. My oldest son all the time is like, Mom, did you get your walk in? Mom, did you get your workout in? Mom, did you do this? Mom, and like he holds me accountable because he knows that it's good for me. He sees it, right? And so he's doing the same thing, and they watch you. Kids watch you, and they're soaking in everything.
Little sponges, right?
Mhm.
That's what I tell women all the time because I feel as though, and I hear from moms that they don't have the energy, time, money, capacity, space, support to do something for themselves, like mindset work, like coaching, like a health journey, like XYZ, because if they frame it as just for them, it's not worthwhile enough. But when you look at it from the lens of being able to also then shape and support and model for your kids, and just by doing the work yourself, you're doing the work for them, and
Yeah,
they grow up with those tools, like then the connection is made and they're like, okay, yes, I am worth it. They are worth it. We are doing this. It's amazing.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like I could not have said it better. And it's so important too, because you've got to go back and connect with your why. Like, why are you feeling this way? Why are you on this journey? Why are you saying no to taking that next step to feeling better? And when you reframe it and you're like, well, I want to have those days where I can, like, in 10 years, my kids are feeling better and they have more knowledge, they have more expertise, and they can understand things in a different way. And you see that, then you're like, oh, well, that was all worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So this makes me want to ask you two questions.
Yeah,
What is your why? And is it tied into how you got into this work in the first place?
absolutely. Yes, it is. So when I was after I had my third child, totally just rock bottom energy. Like I was exhausted all the time, right? So many of us are. And I think it becomes a place where you just get into this thing where, like, I'm too tired to do this. I don't want to cook a healthy meal. It takes too long. It's too complicated. It's too expensive. It's too whatever the cost is. It's too anything. And for me, shifting my mindset and going through periods of, I was working out at 4:15 in the morning. Well, that's great, but I wasn't connecting that with my diet, or I wasn't connecting that with my sleep, and I wasn't connecting it with my stress. So working out is just one piece of the whole puzzle. But then understanding and finally putting together that it's not just working out, sleep, managing my stress, managing this, managing that. And once I figured out a way to put it together in a way that fit into my life, not the other way around, because that's the other reason so many moms don't do anything is they feel like it's too overwhelming or too much time. And once I figured out how to fit it into my life, I was like, oh, I have to share this with everybody else, because I know that so many moms can feel so much better if they understood and if they really took the time to make that one small change today where they could go and feel better tomorrow.
Yeah. Can you give us some examples of things that we can do, like maybe in the morning specifically to boost our energy through the day so that if we are on like committed to moving forward in creating that life that we want and feeling the way that we want and just really stepping into this intentionally, how do we what can we do to like get some energy in the morning so that we get through the day with this same intention that we started with?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two things that I would say to do first thing in the morning. One, get morning sunlight.
Mm.
Even just a few minutes of morning sunlight will help boost your circadian rhythm. So it helps you actually sleep better. But also it gives you that like breath of fresh air, right? You walk outside, you go outside, you reframe your mindset a little bit because you are outside in nature. That's one. And two, I would say make sure you're getting 30 to 50 grams of protein in your morning breakfast.
Mm.
And it sounds hard. And for a long time, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But I've now figured out how to get that 30 grams of protein in. And a lot of it has to do with having a protein shake in the morning. But making sure that you're getting that protein in first thing along with some healthy fats will really like totally change the way you eat and feel in the morning and helps you start your day off in a much better way with energy already coming in.
Yeah, that's so important because if you can feel good in the morning, feel energized, you're going to
Mhm.
have the momentum, you're going to have those wins early on. It's going to keep it going. I love that. This makes me think that there are so many extra tools and things that you know that you share in your Exhausted Moms Energy Fix program. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a 12-week program. I run a group program quarterly, so once 4 times a year. And then I have my one-on-ones that go through the whole year. And it is a program where it's 12 weeks of coaching. We go through 6 different modules and we talk about mindset, we talk about sleep, nutrition, stress. We also talk about planning for long-term sustainability so that when you are finished through the coaching program, you can quote unquote graduate and recognize that you have the tools in your inbox, in your toolbox, right, to go and continue to live this way. We talk a lot about, what gut health is and why that's so important for, a mom's energy, how that helps, and how it's really connected to all the things I just talked about. So we do a lot of focus on that. And we have the resources, we have the action plans and the goals to go along with starting the program all the way through the 12 weeks.
I love it. I personally love a group program because it it allows you some accountability. You're
Mhm.
surrounded by the other people who are like trying to achieve the same thing as you. You get the energy of everyone's intention and the support and celebration as things go well and you all move through and you're seeing results. And if you're stuck,
Yeah.
you get help and you get that support and you can give that support if you're achieving things. And yeah, I love the energy of that. I think it sounds like an incredible program. And the fact that your focus also is to allow the women who graduate or go through to be able to take the tools into their life,
Yes.
that's huge because I know a lot of people who create programs or who've gone through programs that are so supportive when you're in it, but then it kind of just ends and you're back to where you were, and you maybe learn some things, but you didn't really get prepared to do it in your real life because real life comes back.
Mhm.
So well done on that. I think that's really impressive.
Yeah, it's for me, it's not one of those things where I want everybody to see all these successes in 12 weeks and then walk away and go back to feeling
Yeah.
crappy.
Yeah.
I want moms to walk away having the tools in their box to live it forever and to share it with their kids and to role model it. Like
Yeah.
that to me is a huge success.
Yeah, absolutely. And like also understanding that the complete transformation isn't going to come in those first, couple
No.
weeks. It is a lifelong endeavor for us to change and take control of our lives and to really create life in the way that we want it in our health and in our relationships and blah 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 all the places. So it's a constant journey. So having a toolbox is super important.
It is. And it's so important. You touched on something that's like incredibly important for moms to realize it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
And this is why small, tiny habits are so important because it isn't going to happen overnight. Change doesn't happen overnight. And when you realize that and you're ready to take that journey of feeling so much better and you start with those small steps, that's what's going to help you make the big transformation.
I love it. If there's moms listening who are eager to continue to learn from you, where can they find the details about the program? Where can they follow you online and get connected with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram handle is at intentional.wellness.coaching. And you can find me on my website. My program is on there, Exhausted Moms Energy Fix. And my website is www.intentionalwellnesscoaching.com.
Perfect. I'm going to make sure those are all in the show notes so it's super easy. People don't have to go pause and Google right away. So they'll be all linked there.
There is one other thing too.
Yeah.
I have a free 6 day training. It's called Mom's Energy Reset, 6 days to start feeling great. And so if moms are interested in that, it will be on my website and you can go and start that journey to feeling great through 6 days of learning and training along with me, and some guides to go along with it to help you keep accountable.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll definitely do that. And I'm going to put that in the show notes too. So many valuable resources. You're doing amazing work. Thank you for being here and sharing and doing this work. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that feels important to share before we wrap up today's episode?
I think the biggest thing that I would just want to leave every mom listening is don't give up on yourself, right? Stay committed. I recently saw one of my friends posting that, she's got kids who are 15, 16. And one of the things that she said was, I wish that I had taken more time to care for myself as my kids were younger and growing up. And I'm glad that I didn't realize it too late, but she's finally starting to realize that. So don't give up on yourself and make yourself a priority because it's going to impact everything from the way that you show up in the world for yourself to the way that you show up for your family.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. Thank you again so much, Nikki, for being on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.